Good morning, Stallion Gang. My name is Shaka Renee. I want to say welcome. If you're new here, I'm new too. So I'm getting used to the YouTube and talking to myself, and I'm trying to, get familiar with that and sound more authentic. But if you are not new and you are a subscriber, or if you're not new but you have not subscribed, y'all go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Please share this channel with your friends, family, and let's see if we can get these subscriber numbers up. But I just want to thank you guys for coming and stopping by and just hanging out with me today. Today is Thursday. This is the Thursday before Mother's Day. And I just want to touch base on mothers. First of all, I just want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. It should be happy Parent Day, because we all are putting in work, and honey, and if you are truly putting in work as a parent, you know how hard it is, how challenging, how layered, how beautiful, how the roller coaster can be when you're trying to raise your children. Even if you're raising your children with your husband, or you're raising your children with or you're co-parenting, it is still a challenge because you are bringing two personalities. Me, myself, how I was raised, my husband, how he was raised. We have a blended family. So my elder son, who is 25, his mother, how she was raised, and then my daughter and her father and how he was raised. So it is such a blended family. And then my husband and I, we do have a son that we share, and then we're trying to bring in some of the values that we were taught, and then some of the values that we didn't care for is coming up, and modify those things and really make it our own when we're raising our children. Like I said, I don't know if I told you, but I have two adult children. Like I said, my son is 25, he'll be 26 in October. My daughter just turned 23, and then I have a 17-year-old son. So it is a beautiful challenge when you're raising these children. And honey, let me tell you something. I don't know who said it takes a village to raise a child. They never lied. You hear me? You are me. I am, and maybe some of you are too, but I just want to really speak on me, because I don't want to offend anyone or just say what I go through and what I do is a law. It may be some of the same things that you're doing, some of the same things that you went through, but I don't know that. And so I'm not trying to put me on you unless I'm on you. So with all that being said, raising kids, it's not an easy task, honey. You have, especially in these days, you have your children that are influenced by so many.
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding you.
Gerald, what's she want to talk for? This car mine. But anyways, you have your children that have so many influences from so many different angles. I would tell you, when I grew up, honey, the only influence I had was my siblings, my cousins, my friends, and my parents. That was the people that I was seeing and connecting in my triangle daily. And honey, they had the same resources that I had. So we couldn't really pollute, let's just say, one another, because we were all in the same melting pot. Nowadays, honey, your children can get advice from Chat GPT. They can get advice from friends, from social media. It's from podcasts. It's people that don't have this. When you're young, you think everything revolves around you. When your parents say, no, we're not doing that, your feelings is hurt, you think it's an attack on you, and then you can pull up your phone and get on social media and find the same minded person that has not matured mentally, and that will tell you what you feeling is accurate, and there ain't no end. You understand? Those things are dangerous if you do not have your own foundation. And those things are dangerous if we're not parenting our children and putting in those hard foundations. You understand? Because I had my first child, which was my daughter, at 20. Well, I was pregnant at 20. I had her at 21. And honey, I didn't even know myself. I didn't even have my frontal lobe. I didn't know what I liked, what I wanted to do with myself. I didn't have no career. I was in college. You know, I was just about to really explore my life, and then I became pregnant. And then things had to get real. I had to put school. I didn't have to. When I think about that, I'm like, darn, if I would have known what I know now, or had confidence in myself, that I could have finished school and still had my daughter with me. But I put school on hold. I worked 2 jobs. You know, I was so key on not trying to be a statistic, honey. I didn't realize, honey, I was already one. I was 21 years old with a child and no husband, you know? And then on top of it, I had a child with a great person, but he wasn't my person. And so that was a whole nother thing. And then, you know, I eventually, of course, had another child, got married, I had another child, and now I landed with 2 kids. And so I then learned, when you have a blended family, that is another challenge on itself. I tell you, young people, if you do not have children right now, be mindful. I would say be mindful, be intentional on yourself, be self-aware. No, I'm young and I'm forever evolving, especially if you're young like how I was when I had my first child. You don't even have your frontal lobe. The common sense making and logic does not exist at that time. So I want you to put those things into consideration, because once you have a child, honey, your child don't care that you ain't got your frontal lobe, child. You know, you got to get out there and get it done. And a lot of us do. A lot of us parents do. And it is always, you know, best to just have that self-awareness. And if you can prevent certain things from happening right now, until you can figure things out, I highly recommend it, you know, because you're going to have unseen incidents. But if you can prevent some things, please do so. Okay. But I just want to say, parenting is not easy. I take my hat off to all parents, mothers. I can speak on mothers because I am a mother, but every mother is not the same. You know, I would say this about me. I can be a strict mom. I can be a mother that allow my children to have a voice. I am all those things. I am nurturing, I am caring, sometimes to the default. You know, I feel like my children sometimes feel like they see the things that I have, they see the things that I do, and they feel like my success or my funds and my account, and I'm speaking on my young adults, my minor children, I got to do what I have to do, you know. But my young adults, you got to get to a point, and this, when I say this, I talk to myself, that you got to allow your children to create their own resources. Okay. I have handheld, and I want to be intentional with my words, I have handheld my kids, my young adults, and it has really hurt them, because they tend to think that that's who I am the rescuer. Like, don't put yourself in predicament and then say, 911, let me phone a mama to help me out of these things. Let's take some accountability and let's create our own resources. I am here to help you, but I am not here to take on all of your bad decisions and figure out ways for you to get them out that's costing me my peace. You know, I don't think that's part of being parenting. I think parenting is to guide you. Your kids come to you and they tell you, hey, look, and I'm thinking about doing this. And as a parent, you say, hey, listen, let me tell you how I think that's going to go. I think it's going to go bad. I don't think you should do that. Or I think you should do it, but do it in this way. It is up to your children to take that sound advice and utilize it or not. If you don't utilize it, why is it my responsibility to now help you get out of it? And I think that's a thing that at 44, I am still learning. Parenting is a forever journey. As you continue to get old, you are continuing how to parent the stage of your children. You're not going to parent your young 20-year-old like you would parent your newborn baby. You're not going to coddle them like that. You're not going to parent your teenager, your your teenager like you would parent him when he was 13 versus now that he's 17. You have to make some adjustments, and you want to treat your children like individuals. Everybody can't be parent the same. Me, I'm gonna tell you this, I'm a very straightforward person. I care about my appearance. I care about when people see me, what they see before they hear me, okay? It burns me up to have a beautiful daughter that at times do not care about her appearance. I hate to see strangers walking in stores with house shoes on and pajamas and bonnets, because I think when you look good, you feel good, you put your best foot forward. And I also feel like you don't know who you could run into in those atmospheres. You know, you may meet your husband. Your husband probably be in there and he like, dang, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This joker still got on PJs, you know? So that's the type of mother I am. I'm always trying to cancel, but that can also be a hindrance, because sometimes you got to learn to just boom, and let your children figure it out. And that's what I have to learn. Me and my daughter currently are not speaking. And that is a choice that she's made for reasons that she chooses to have them. Do I agree with those? No. But it's not my life and it's not my choice. And all I have to, what I'm learning to do is step back and let her figure out where the issue really lies. I am always taking responsibility of my part in any interaction with any of my children. But what I am not going to do is take on my part, your part, and then hear your part and then say, okay, I see how I could have did something different. When I couldn't have did anything different. You got to do things different. So I'm going to tell you, as your children are growing and developing, continue to cancel them. I feel like us as a mother, my daughter is such an amazing person. When we are on good terms, honey, we laugh, we talk. I mean, I could tell her my deepest secrets and she will hold them. She's an amazing person, but she is not ready to be that for me. And I am not ready to be that for her, because, honey, when my daughter called me crying and frantic because she can't get her hair done and she ain't pay her car note, honey, we ain't seeing eye to eye because my name is on that note. Go pay your goddamn car note. So those are the things that I feel like you still got to build and continue to fix. And you got to not blur the lines of being a parent and being a friend. Being a friend to your children will come, but you got to do the hard work of being a parent and create those boundaries. I want to say, being a parent is a blessing, and I'm learning how to be a better parent each day. I hope that you guys got something out of this, and I'm gonna leave you with a stallion tip of the day. Don't be too hard on yourself out here. Write down, journal, read your Bible. Really be intentional about who you are and who you truly want to be. Gather you some counsel with the Lord, and then also put yourself around some same-minded mothers, some same-minded parents. Do not be afraid to say, hey, listen, this is what happened. Where was I wrong in this piece, and who I can be, and how can I be better? You know, I want to thank God for giving us an instruction tool called the Bible. And I also want to thank my husband. Honey, I am a living head type of person. My husband is a black and white type of person, and honey, he has helped me let so many things go that I feel like if I didn't have him, I'll be still holding on incidents that happened between my children when they were in their early teens. I mean, like, it's ridiculous. And so, you know, it's always good to be equally yoked with your mate. So when your children is going through their thing, and you're not going to have good days with your kids, just like you don't have good days personally. You're not going to have good days all the time. When you don't have those good days, you need to be making sure that you have sound relationships for other people that are helping you through this thing called parenting. Okay? I know you guys are doing the best that you can. We all are. Keep up the great work, and happy Mother's Day.